All right, we are back. Lafdul is still wandering around and exploring.
Yeah, there
Um,
was this place to the southeast.
all right, you're gonna move your token
I
down there.
marked. Yeah, it's very hard to navigate down there. I draw an arrow.
Yeah, I know where it is.
Yeah, I can't find it again.
Well,
Oh,
it's
what's up
it's
here?
down.
Hang on. I found a new area that I may want to explore.
Okay, I'm back.
Lafdul has found a new area he may want to explore.
Oh,
Yeah, this is
really?
quite a big
Where
area.
is it?
Yeah, it's on the ship you're not on, and he
Oh, we have
and
this
and to
place.
and to make it even safer, he's deciding to explore it without telling Lever or Braxon about it.
It fits in with my title. It's literally the loner.
Oh, so he's gonna get himself killed.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Sure.
if he doesn't die, think of the
Fuck.
XP bonus he'll get.
Yeah, if I don't die to fire acid, then or suffocation or some other non.
I
It's
mean,
actually really suspicious over there.
what's the worst that could happen?
He
Beholder
dies
hits him with a
constantly.
petrification ray.
Is that really so bad?
Lafdul wanted a lifelike version of himself. He wanted to petrify his duplicate.
The
'Cause
worst that
he's
can happen,
that vain.
the worst that can happen is he could find a second-hand bionoid crystal.
So Lafdul, it was lower right is where you drew
Yeah,
the
I
arrow.
know. I was just scouting out that area. There's also that over there.
Well, as long as you're at the door, why don't you do the door first?
I'm down here now.
Make your mind up.
I'm at the place I searched there.
Okay, so you're gonna
I
search
searched
it.
along the wall for like
Alright.
an hour or something.
All right.
Basically, this corner bit,
Okay. All right.
like all along there, however long that takes.
Yeah, it would probably actually take about an hour.
How many times does Lafdul get jostled once?
No, there's still Leva's still in the helm.
Yeah.
You do not find anything on along that wall.
Yeah, well. Alright, delete that. Alright, he's gonna try those doors. He's gonna search traps on the door
Okay.
when he gets to it. I've. Yeah. Come on.
You do not find any traps.
Is the door open?
The door does not appear to be locked.
Alright, I attempt to open the door carefully. Enough so I can just close it suddenly.
Okay.
Ooh, an empty room. Goes
Inside,
into the room.
it's an old
Does the door-
storage room. Nothing
Does the door
of
not creak?
particular value remains within.
Lafdul searches the room for like an hour.
You'd only need 40 minutes. Oops, wrong dice.
Try not to gag at like ancient food.
No, not that sort of storage room. It's got like mining tools and things of that nature.
Anything look non-rusted? Like might be magical because magical stuff doesn't rust.
Magical stuff can absolutely rust.
Can it?
Yeah, it just doesn't
Can
usually. Yeah, it just doesn't usually affect its
I
usability.
thought magical stuff doesn't rust. No.
It depends. It would need
If
to be
what it
enchanted
loses
in
the
such a way.
enchant-
You can definitely find an old, crusty sword that turns out to be enchanted, and once you clean it, it looks spick and span and brand new. That's just the nature of magic.
Yeah.
You do not find anything of note in the chamber. Some of the equipment might be salvageable, but it's just pretty standard mining equipment.
Lizard people probably need some of that.
I think Braxon had that suit of armor before that always looks pretty. That was cursed.
So I mean,
Wasn't that
again,
the-
like some magical items can be enchanted to
Yeah.
always look good, and others may not have such an enchantment, and then
Yeah.
they can look crusty and ugly and gross, and just need to be
Yeah.
cleaned.
Isn't there a couple of things that deliberately don't look nice?
Perhaps.
Like things that look like they're not worth stealing, sort of stuff.
Yeah, you could
Yeah,
enchant
it's
something
like
to look
that.
that way.
Ring that we found that was not magical, but we identified it coincidentally because it seems, well, why not? And then found out it was actually magical. It just registers as non-magical. That we still have, I might
Yeah.
add. Counts as slightly effective for the magic items.
All right, so are you done searching around?
I can't think of any place.
Right. Again, like I said, you might not have missed anything.
This is this area here, but I think that's where the barracks is on the other side.
Yeah, that is.
Hang on, there's this area up here. Hang on. Yeah.
I mean, if you feel that you're
this wall going eastward, westward.
you want to search that?
Yeah, I'll do that bit,
Okay.
and then it would be up along the top side. Wow, searching upwards into it.
All right. You do not find anything unusual.
Oh wow. There's a chance I just miss it in this area.
It's entirely possible that if there is something here that you might have missed it. Still. But I might also be red herring you, or maybe I was talking about those doors that were closed.
I need to wait like another day because I want to cast. When I get more thought captures to cast thought capture where we revealed that tunnel where the stone golems are.
Right?
Because he cast a wall of something, and that was obviously of importance to him. And I want to get a thought capture. Hopefully, if it gets something along the lines of, "Oh, that's what I was looking for," that would confirm or deny.
Maybe you can capture the
get
thoughts
lucky.
of the. Maybe you can capture the thoughts of the golem.
Okay. So, with that, Leva's shift will be done. Leva and Lafdul, you will both need to sleep. I'm going to say that Braxon,
sleep.
you've gotten some sleep in between.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're
Case
going
of-
to get on the helm.
Yeah.
Lev will be giving him pointers.
Didn't you say that Braxon couldn't remember anything?
Remember anything?
Yeah, I was talking about what he felt like when he sat on that helm.
It was too fast for you to get, and it was overwhelming.
Right,
So it's not
okay.
like that like your memory got wiped. It was just like you got bombarded with all kinds of things that it was just too much for you.
Okay, before Braxton sits down, he's going to take off anything he's got that's breakable.
I mean,
Yeah.
potions. Just put some cloth around it.
All right.
Put it on the other side of the room.
That's
Alright.
more likely to break, isn't it?
Do you want me to just drag your token down to the room?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So you go ahead and gingerly sit on the in the seat. Correct.
Yep.
All right. Give me a saving throw versus spell. We'll see if Braxon causes everything to shake and shudder.
Oh. Saving throw versus spell
Mhm.
is at the top of the sheet, and I'm at the bottom of the sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
As usual.
Right. I got to get under it. Got to get 11 as my target.
You need to get over it.
Need to get over it.
Yep.
All right.
So, once again, the whole citadel shakes and shudders as Braxon sits in it. But you were expecting this, so you don't
Yeah.
get thrown from the seat.
Braxton tries to slow his breathing, and he shuts his eyes and clings hold of the arms of the throat.
Suffocates.
It takes a few minutes for you to get used to it. But you start to feel a little bit more comfortable. It's still extremely overwhelming, but with Leva's help, you get the this giant asteroid fortress moving again, and following Higamus.
Can Braxton actually see through the eyes of the citadel or something?
Not exactly through the eyes of the Citadel, but you can see, yes. You're not sure exactly where. Like, one of the reasons why it's overwhelming is that you can kind of see everything around you.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
see inside, but you can see everything around you. And that's extremely
Braxton's closing
disorienting.
his eyes. Braxton's closing his eyes so he doesn't see what's in the room.
All right. All right, and you get going again. Leva goes ahead and gets some sleep in the outer room. Lafdul, are you going to do the same?
Braxton's going to be trying to look round to see things in space.
Yeah, you'd be getting some sleep somewhere.
All right. Off on your own or with Leva?
Probably the same area as Leva.
All right. I'll want me to just drag your token up there?
Yeah, you can do that.
Oop. All right.
Oh, no. Yeah.
There you go. Okay. So the rest of that shift is fairly uneventful, stopping once an hour to maintain positioning with Higamus and the other ships. And with that, your shift comes to an end.
Braxton says, "Did you say you can do this for more than 8 hours?
Up to 12.
Can I do it for another 4 hours? Because I'm not going to get a chance to do this again. This is really
Be my
fun."
guest. Lafdul gets more sleep.
Yeah, Leva's like, yeah, sure, fine. Yeah, I'll get some more sleep too.
Although I am going to get up an hour before Braxon gets off his thing. Because I'm going to cast... I assume... I've only cast thought captures and create potions. Probably. I'd have to get off 2 hours before Braxton's shift finishes then.
Alright.
Because I've got a prayer to get spells. So I need
That's
to
fine.
get over an hour.
I mean, it's
So
still
I'll have
2
like
extra
hours
hours,
to
which
prepare.
is it's 2 extra
Yeah.
hours of sleep, which is nice. That's fine.
Braxton's going to try to see if he can do anything while he's a ship. Like, he's going to try and listen to space.
Oh.
Okay.
He's going to try to see if he can talk to the other ships and stuff like that.
All right.
Just because he's not done this before.
You spend quite a bit of time concentrating on that, and don't really get any responses. But then again, you're not sharing air envelopes with any of them, so maybe that's what's necessary.
Yeah.
Who knows? Leva and Lafdul are asleep, so they can't answer you. All right, so Lafdul, you get up a bit before.
I'll pray for spells for like an hour.
Okay.
The ones that I used.
If
Then
Braxton...
to the area.
So were you going to be
here.
taking over for Braxton, or did you want?
Yeah, that's
Leva
why I
to
did it
take
like. That's why I did up 2 hours before.
over? Okay.
So I'm getting. Well, this is during the 10th hour. I spend an hour getting my spells back.
Okay.
Because I only cast a few spells, and during an hour before shift change, I will cast Thought Capture here.
All right.
Because I think we opened up this area, and he cast a wall of fire there or something, if I remember correctly. Illithid. I know it's around us. Oh, then again, there is a dwarf thing. Oh well.
You get the a thought of exaltation that finally, maybe
Yeah, of course.
what he's been searching for has been found, but the stupid adventurers who refused to parley with him still need to be dealt with.
Yeah, I get that's what I thought it was. Alright, I'm going to cast one up here because I know this Illithid was being beaten to a pulp up here.
All right, give me a saving throw versus spell.
Me?
Yep.
Oh, wow. I wing it.
Oh, that's pretty good. So you are bombarded with thoughts of pain and a sense of
Dying.
a final death. And why now when I am so close to all of that power?
That's going to make Lafdul incredibly sad. Oh, you knew about the Art of Renaissance.
Well,
If he's thinking of incredible power.
maybe.
Because there's very few things that have that much power.
He might have been interested in the artifact inside it.
Yeah. Or the helm.
But
I
it's a like, because coming along with that thought was pain, so that's why you
Yeah,
need to make a
it's
saving throw.
Anguish.
And
Lafdul's a little sad about that, I suppose.
the sense of a final death.
Lafdul's gonna say, I mean, I'm not gonna get my token up there, but he's gonna cast one last full capture where the Death Dragon was.
You get no thought whatsoever.
Nothing?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Is that unusual?
Maybe the thoughts were very old or something like that.
There's no real time limit on it.
No, but
Oh, well, I create 2 more temporary healing potions and I'll go on the hill.
okay.
So I have 6 now, because I did 2 on the way here. 2 during...
I mean, as I've said
Cool.
before, when there's downtime, you can just like choose what day you cast it and set it all up and everything like that.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just doing 2 a day, basically. I think it's been 3 rests.
To make
since we
yourself-
left, bro.
to make it easier on yourself.
Yeah.
All right, so you go ahead and get on the helm again.
Yeah.
Okay. You do not need to make a saving throw this time.
One has acclimatized.
Seems so.
That's why I go on a regular helm and I just,
It feels so tiny now.
yeah.
Everything seems
it's
so
int-
small.
This is interesting because Braxon had to do it twice.
But
then
you
Braxon's
didn't actually. You
gone.
weren't actually on the helm for a long time and moving the ship. Neither was Lafdul. That's why he had to make a second saving throw. And the rest of the journey, including Leva's portion, is uneventful. And you arrive within sight of your asteroid. Axis, well, Axis
around
would
the
come down.
wasps?
Axis would come down at about that point because she'd recognize that.
Yeah.
I bet the dwarves that are already there are asteroid like, what the?
There may be
This is a
some
citadel.
there may be some questions when you get back over there, but
Well, at least our ship turned up first.
yes.
Yeah, I suppose.
Otherwise, I'd be quite distressed.
Or they might start firing at us.
So Axis comes down and works with Leva to choose a favorable position for the Citadel, since Leva is still in the helm.
Mm-hmm.
And
Braxton will offer to lend her the spyglass if she wants to look out the front.
she can look out the front easily enough. You're looking at planetoids. You don't need to.
Cool.
You don't need to see the individual people on the planetoids. And with a bit of time spent positioning the Citadel, and to Axis's satisfaction, Leva goes ahead and gets off, and the Battle Dolphin and the rest of the ships dock up. Higimus comes to get you and says that you guys should probably go head over to your asteroid to, let the dwarves know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And, you can get some rest over there.
Lafdul's going to want to get some kip, despite what else all the fun stuff that's happening.
So I'm going to bring you guys up to the first level, because that's a little bit easier to deal with on this.
I did get 2 hours extra sleep, so...
Yeah, there you go. Alright, so, I mean, you probably would have slept again while Leva was on the helm, because that was...
killing time.
About 20 hours ago. But everyone gets some rest so that everyone is fresh and ready to go. While Higimus, I guess before that, Higimus would suggest you guys go over to your asteroid and talk to the dwarves.
Sounds like a good
Probably
idea.
give them... some of the money that
Do
would
we
have,
do we see any of the rock hoppers anywhere around? I know they're sort of nomadic.
You are not currently seeing them, no. But they also have tiny ships, and they have nomadic camps, so it's not exactly the easiest thing to just see.
Do they
that's
row? They don't have powered ships, don't they?
They actually pedal, I believe.
So I thought.
Yeah, like a pedalo.
I have no idea what that is. It's like a
Is that
pedal.
what Swan thinks?
It's a little boat that kids go on, and they ride around a lake.
Okay, I
and
guess
it's
we don't
got,
call
like,
them that here.
Got paddle wheels.
Anyway, so to a certain extent, you guys will just have to wait until they show up.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's just if they were immediately near us, we might want to go see them. But if they're not, that's fine. We haven't got a choice to make.
All right, so you guys sail over to your asteroid, check on the progress of the work being done, and the dwarves are all quite eager to find out about the citadel, asking you about the damage it's taken, what what clan is using the forge inside, because that's what they're assuming, is that they're assuming that that it came in with a forge, although they also kind of question that because it's so big.
Mm.
So they're all quite curious about it.
Give them the rundown of I ask if I tell Axis, do you want more people to know about the space?
Well, for now, this is just you going over on your own.
People like to talk.
Axis hasn't come.
Yeah. If we tell the dwarves,
well,
then the dwarves are going to tell everyone on Brow, and news will spread.
If we're going to leave this thing here, and we're going to leave these dwarves here, we're going to have to tell them that there's lizard people living on there.
Oh yeah, but yeah.
So we can tell them it was a dwarven. It was a dwarven citadel, and that some Durgar took it over and smashed up all the holy symbols in the churches, and then they were vanquished, and some lizard people are living there now.
All right, they're still curious how they're even more curious now how it arrived, if there's lizard men living there and no dwarves to operate the forge.
I guess we have to tell them that it is an artifact. There's no way around that.
We brought it over with the power of Patar.
Lafdul would instantly tell them about the artifact at that point. Anything to derail Patar. Anything.
They have even more questions now if there's an artifact in there. I mean, they're not that interested in the citadel. They've kind of realized that it must be played out if lizard men are living there and there's no dwarves.
Yeah, so I mean,
it might not be totally played out. It might not be totally played out, if any of them say that.
If they do it, I might have a mind out.
Roger would either confirm or deny it being a minor.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's a question of like, how much more can you actually get out of it, and how versus the effort. That's the thing. There comes a point when it's too much effort to get whatever remains.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it was mithril or adamantite or maybe gold. You know, if they're just talking about iron, copper, and stuff like that, it's not worth it.
When Roger said it was only iron, I mean, there were like silversmith, goldsmiths, and mithril bars in there, so there might have been something else in here. But
we did find some dwarven tools in there that were kind of rotted away from old age, so it must be very old citadel.
Yeah, so they realize that it's played out. Would you mention that the artifact was powered by a dwarven artifact that you plan to return? Now that they are aware of the
space.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's confirmed with Axis that we plan on depowering this place. I mean, this is why it's being settled up here. As
Hang on. was our contract to find this artifact top secret?
Mm,
Not really.
Not really.
It's just return it. It's telling dwarves.
Well,
As long as we make head speed on anyone else that might
hang
be
on, because
pursuing us.
the person we're working for previously wanted us to keep some other stuff secret.
The thing that was wanted to keep secret was the oracle on the giant world about the job that we did for the oracle to secure the peace in there.
Oh,
yeah.
It's not about the relic that was the secret.
Yeah.
All right, so we tell the dwarves that we'll tell them a whole story when we get back from Forge Space because we can't jeopardize what we're holding on to. It puts it at risk the more people that know about it, so we try to brush it off like that. It's important to your people, basically. It's going to Forge Space.
Okay. They're quite pleased at these news that you've discovered a dwarven artifact. You haven't gone into details about it, and that's fine with them. They're quite pleased that it's going back. They some shoulder clapping, some cheers that an ancient dwarven artifact is being returned to the dwarven people. And the foreman says that he will absolutely be spreading word of your good worth back on Brawl.
Yeah, about that. I mean, at least wait for like a couple of weeks until we got a head start in case someone decides that, we got an artifact and
they're going to be here on your asteroid for a while anyway, so...
All right.
Yeah.
Just making that clear. Give us a head start, that's all.
And keep in mind that there's to those who are not experienced in the specifics, there's not a big difference between an actual artifact and just an ancient magical item, or even an ancient item that is non-magical that holds great personal value to a group of people.
Yeah.
So if they go and tell people that you found an artifact and returned it to the dwarven, a dwarven artifact and returned it to the dwarven people, that doesn't necessarily, the average person is not going to say, "Oh, a great magical item of great power that's connected to the gods."
Yeah, but it was powering the citadel.
Well,
the dwarves have to come to that conclusion.
They don't have to say that either. You could ask them to keep that part secret.
All right, as long as they keep that part secret.
They nod and understand, and
at least for like half a year or a few months.
Well,
all right.
Long enough for us to get to Forge Space, because it's going to take a couple of months to get to Forge Space, I think.
I don't think quite that long. I mean, there's time in the spheres too, but.
Anywho, we'll brief them on the deal we offered with the lizard people. That we made a deal of mutual protection,
sharing resources and stuff. So they're like our allies. We're like,
and we'll say
signing a alliance, like a collateral mutual defense.
Did we bring over any of those tools from the other ship, or we'll just tell them?
You just came alone. I mean, they're like unsecuring all their stuff and everything like that.
Okay.
I assume they're just going to part off.
Well, this is like a matter of maybe an hour after you got off the helm, after Leva got off the helm and everything like that.
Well, in that case, we'll tell the dwarves that are working for us that a dwarven ship just came in just before we came over here, and they've come along with us, and they would like to meet you at some point.
All right.
And exchange stories.
They are quite excited about that. So at this point, would you, Higamus would recommend returning to Axis to get some rest and then iron out some, any last-minute stuff for the next day, and then see about getting the artifact out of the helm.
Yeah. Do we need Do we need to discuss division of treasure or anything?
You probably do, because at this point you would be giving her anything that you would owe she would be owed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm perfectly fine with you saying that you give it to her and only do the calculations later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you will need to figure out exactly what, how much you're giving her.
Yeah.
All right. So you return, talk to the dwarves, and Axis. Give me just a second. I want to check something. So you would start by handing over what you owe her, money wise. I think you were pretty clear on part of it. Was there something that you were not clear on?
She was. What was it? She said like 50% of all the.
I think we'd been clear on the top bit because they were living there, and that it was not so clear on the bottom bit.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's just the top where they were living, wasn't it? The lizard folk.
We did agree on giving some of what we find in the bottom bit, but the discussion was about is it half from everything or is it half from, say, only those that we find and not have to fight for? Like, does she have the claim for loot from the Illithid, or is it only for the things that were left from the Duergar and dwarves?
I assume they're just going to want a monetary value, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, when you talk to her, what are you going to propose, or what? Are you gonna instead ask her what you agreed, or what?
Yeah,
I suppose in all honesty, I'd ask her, what do you want? Essentially.
That's good. If Lafdul asks when we're not around, it sounds like the rest of us already know, and he's just asking what it was again.
All right, Lafdul, do you want to go ask her privately?
Yeah, I suppose. Just bring it up in casual conversation.
Okay.
It's say that I've just been busy fighting and I just forgot. I mean, the other members of the party probably remember, but I don't specifically. I say I keep getting memories of the Illithid constantly. It's been jarring my mind when I read the memories of the past. And I seem to have just forgotten.
She gives you
tried
an
to play it
odd
off like
look
that.
for that, but then says, "Well, first I would feel that it is right that anything that was clearly lizardman in origin be returned to us as our original property.
Mm-hmm.
But since you took the main risk down there, you obviously deserve the lion's share. Wealth is of more use to us right now than magical trinkets, as nice as those would be, unless they would clearly aid us in the propagation of our clan, our tribe."
Can I roll a personal wisdom thing based on how Ockar would feel about this? And Ockar can tell me, I don't know. Basically, my idea is, what if I were to mention about the trident? Even though the trident is really inherently evil, but it is a trident. I don't know if these lizard folk are neutral.
Well, that's the stuff up above.
Yeah, but it's still an incredibly powerful item. They might be able to use it. It's evil to us, but it might not be evil to them. I mean, yeah, it was a lizard kid. I'm just wondering, what's my gut feeling with this? How would Ockar react if I even mentioned something like that? He was intent on destroying.
Right. So I don't think you need to roll a wisdom check. This is up to you. How do you think you would feel about it? Like, what is your personal gut feeling on the matter?
It's inherently evil, but
Okay.
it's
And what do you
kind
know
of
about-
like their item.
And what do you
I
know
take
about the
it's-
trident?
That it was used to enslave people. Well, actually, no. The trident was just a tool.
You're talking about the intelligent one,
Yeah, the one that talks.
right?
That harms people if they're not evil.
And
Yeah.
if you remember correctly,
But I don't know if that's a trident
trident was
resisting.
clearly the lizard king's god's trident. So it would be like heretical item.
Yeah, but it's like a. Is this
Well-
personality permanent, or can it be changed over time? Can this be converted to good? Can it act as a redemption? Is it possible to redeem such a thing? That's what I'm wondering.
You don't know anything about intelligent items in that regard.
You need to put helm of opposite alignment on the head of the trident.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wonder
you
what-
don't know anything about intelligent magical items in that regard, so...
What would happen if inverted ethics would cast the trident as I try and pick it up? It's a creature, isn't it? Imbued within the item.
is it a creature?
Don't know. It's a good way to find out.
Well, you'd
I
have
think
to-
it'd be
you'd
quite
have to try.
funny.
I don't think our intelligent artifacts are creatures.
It's an intelligence. There is a creature there, but I don't know if I could target it.
So to a
specifically.
certain extent, like some of this is you're thinking about this from the game point of view, as in can this powerful item be converted? Its faith, can the the intelligence in it be converted and then usable? Think about it from Axis's point of view.
I think you could just ask her if her god was able to change the purpose of that trident so that it would serve her people instead of attacking them.
If it could be
Rather
served
than-
for her cause,
rather than-
it would be incredibly powerful.
Right. So Braxon, go ahead. Finish up your thought.
Yeah, so Braxon says that's a trident that was used to attack us, and we've tried to use it, and it wouldn't work with us. But do you think your god would allow you to carry out some sort of ritual to purify this and drive the evil out of it so it can defend your people?
That's what I was thinking.
Right, but I
Rather
mean,
than
like, so
destroying
you can
something.
ask her that, or you can try to put yourself in her mindset and think about it. Like, if you came across an item, an intelligent item that was dedicated to mask, that was or the Queen of Air and Darkness or something like that, what would Lafdul do if he came across an item like that? What would he want to do with it? An item, an intelligent item dedicated to mask or the Queen of Air and Darkness.
I suppose it's more close. He would have a stronger affinity for having a more personal thing for it. I guess I don't have that. Yeah, I suppose no, you'd want it destroyed.
Well,
Straight up.
There you have
Yeah,
it.
well, yeah, all right. I guess. Yeah,
We could offer that. We could offer that if she wants to, she can destroy it, so that she can destroy it in the name of her god.
What about a shared experience of Ockar? Because Ockar wants to do that, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Solas will be on that.
I mean, we can always most likely take witness to the ritual of destroying that artifact.
or offer to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they might be able to power the air furnace.
that's true. That's
I-
true.
It's an
I don't
incredibly
think,
powerful item.
I
That's
don't
true.
think even if
You don't
it's
know.
intelligent trident, it's that
That
power.
that might be cruel. Actually.
No, that's true. That's true.
No,
That's
that,
true.
that might actually be cruel, like because it's an entity, it's living in a sense. In a
No,
way.
no, that's true. That's true. They could use this. They could possibly use this.
Yeah, but it's
Tool
got
of
spirit in
evil.
it.
Yeah,
That's
and
torture. Bottom line, it's torture.
it's not torture. It's just being made to power something.
Yeah,
and it
but
will
if
probably-
that entity suffers because
main-
it's being used up,
The main problem is if you left it there, and it was able to power the ship, someone might take it out and use it again.
It's also the question of since it's intelligent, even if it's a item, magic item, it's intelligent, so it would be considered torture if.
It would be a form of slavery.
Yeah.
As a spellcaster, I think you would realize that you could not use that trident to power the art furnace.
Yeah, it's not that strong of an artifact.
Well, it's
No,
not
it
an
has to be a
artifact in
specific-
general. I mean, again, this is where the metagaming thing is okay. you would understand that that's not an artifact.
So it would work. It might work in a furnace.
It's not.
Oh, it
as
would
powerful.
absolutely work in a furnace. It wouldn't work in an artifurnace, is what I'm saying.
And Braxon would totally put it in a furnace and slowly dissolve it.
Yeah, well, that would
That's what
change
we
your
should do.
alignment.
No.
It would,
Why would it change your alignment?
because you're putting something that has
But
sentience.
you're planning on destroying it anyway.
Yeah, but
you're not giving it a quick death. You are torturing it to
yeah.
death. That is inherently evil.
Does a furnace torture magic items?
It's slowly killed over time. It's
Okay,
not
okay.
instant.
You don't have a furnace, and
Yeah,
you
it's
probably
irrelevant.
We
wouldn't.
can't prove it, obviously.
And you
no.
probably wouldn't keep this item around just in the off chance that you get a furnace. So
Right,
the question
so-
is moot.
Yeah,
We
alright.
should-
Let's not worry about the hypotheticals too much.
She
Moral.
She asked, well, either we're going to do this later and get on with the thing, or we'll do it now, in which case we should offer her that. Well, you're with her, so it's your call, but we could offer her.
We have to compensate the cost of a twined sword, because obviously we saw that was part of the Lizard King.
Yeah. Well, we just give them one of the other things.
But yeah, I think we offer access that this evil trident that is clearly anathema to you
It
destruct.
would have symbology or something.
Yeah.
It's like a final cleansing, I suppose. I mean, Roger does have a hammer that dispels evil. Well, actually, it's undead.
Right. Okay. So, do you have any more private questions for her? Are you satisfied with what her answer was? Because you're not actually proposing to her. You went to her to say,
No, it's
"I'm
just
sorry, I
kind of
forgot.
small
What
talk.
was the agreement again?"
Everything that belonged to lizardmen, folk, and lion share.
No, I would mention about the trident. I mean, we have a paladin that was set on destroying it. I assume that you're also set on destroying it. Should we do like a ceremony to destroy it together or something? I mean, I assume it's in.
Hang on.
I can't. I'm having this privately.
Yeah. Hang on. Glittertines was used by a lizard person.
Oh yeah. No, well, you just offer a compensation. If you claim
So,
it.
in response to your question about the
evil
intelligent trident,
Yeah.
she says to you, "I would absolutely be determined to destroy that vile thing, that tool of the heretic. If you wish to participate or observe, you are more than welcome to. And if some of you choose to aid us in the destruction, I'm sure that the breeder would look upon that with favor."
There's
So
a
Lars
couple
is
of our members in our party.
Destruction.
Yeah. I would mention that there's a couple of our members that felt very strongly inclined against it. In your favor, of course.
In favor of destroying it, right?
Yeah.
All right, so are you satisfied with her answer, or you have any other questions, clarifications that you want to get from her?
I don't think I can think of anything else. That was just generally it.
Oh, I think Braxton's going to have to give him glittertines.
No, you just offered a monetary equivalent. We're going to be selling like the dwarven plate or stuff like that. That's going to be worth it. None of us can use it other than Roger.
Okay,
She's
so
guessing a hammer out of this.
all right, so without giving a number specific, what percentage of the wealth that you got from up above did you agree upon giving her?
I think she just said half
What's-
for the stuff above.
Oh, I thought that was half.
All right,
Yeah, I remember it being half.
so how much
We
did you want to give her from down below, percentage-wise?
probably 25 if I were to guess. See if we get the lion's share, so 75 to 25. It's more than half.
All right, how does everyone feel about that?
Sounds
Well,
good.
see, it's either between 75 to 60%. It's somewhere in there. Someone want to call out a number?
Yeah, I mean, you could go above 70 to
No.
like 80 or something, but it seems good. We get them on side. They get lots of money.
Yeah, well,
They get
these
happy.
are allies in the long run. We don't want to screw them over at the same time, so...
Exactly.
Say we keep 65 or 70. We give them ferry.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
And she said that the share we returned is mainly the lizard folk property. Or
So what are we going to go with?
Well, let's start with the money.
65.
Just look at the money first. And the split, percentage split. Is everyone fine with 70-30? Does anyone have any argues against that? Because that seems like what a couple people seem to agree on for the stuff down below.
I think it's fair since we took quite a bit of risk down below there.
Are you saying that's fine, or are you disagreeing with that amount?
No,
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Since
fine
the
with that.
amount of risks we took, the enemies that were quite capable of killing multiple of us was quite many in there.
What about Finnel'ar and Ockar? You two have been really quiet lately. I want to get your thoughts on this.
Yeah. Because Finn's only getting the money from downstairs, really.
Well, what's his thoughts on the whole thing in general? Do you feel like that's a good idea?
That's what you agreed to.
No,
Yeah.
this was
To be
more
fair,
vague.
to about Finn, he came in after the fact and after the agreement, and
Well,
he
I
may
guess-
kind of just get, a party split of whatever is left over. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, Ockar then, I guess. It's been a bit quiet.
James, are you there?
Yeah.
What is your opinion on the share with the lizard folk? The current suggestion is 70% for us and 30% for them.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Are there any specific items that? Well, first of all, the items that you feel that are rightfully theirs that should go back to them.
It's kind of both the tridents, realistically, but we want to compensate that. So we might have to give a bit more to share, like 65. Or something.
Well, if Braxon was going to keep the trident, then it should be
You
Braxon
love that
pays.
trident.
It should be Braxon that pays for it if he keeps it.
Well, no, it
Well,
If-
you could
when it-
also give them a dwarven item, magical item that you think that they could use more.
they couldn't use it, they could sell it.
Did we already give them the magic armor that the Lizard King had?
I think so, although they can't really use it.
I think
They got no lizard kings, whatever
Yeah.
the big lizards are called.
But
I think
it's still more theirs than.
Yeah.
What's the equivalent humanoid size would they be the closest to? Was
What,
it like
for Lizard
Minotaur?
King?
No, for a lizard. They're medium humanoid shape.
Yeah,
or
lizard
even more
lizard.
elven
Well,
or-
lizard men are thinner than humans. They're about
Because-
they're a little bit taller than humans on average. They can get up to about 7 feet tall, but their body size and structure is a lot different. So they can't use a human armor. But in terms of the comparison, then yeah, something like a minotaur or an ogre would be similar to, comparison for a lizard king.
if
to
there
a
was
lizard man.
like a
did we pick up a spare siege weapon at some point?
we never checked to see if they were all magical. I mean, it's there.
No, there are no magical siege weapons here. I don't mind telling you that. just so you don't like run around checking them
Ammo.
all. No.
Alright.
No, I thought before we picked up an extra. Oh, we were going to use that on our base, I think. No, I'm just thinking they got a lot of weapon. They got a lot of weapon platforms with no weapons.
Well, that's what this monetary gift is, to redefend themselves and stuff.
Yeah.
Rearm.
Yeah. And also get other supplies and
I honestly can't remember what we took from them. I think one of the ones.
I don't think, other than like the axe, I don't think anything. Well, and you have a short sword. I don't think anything has really been handed out.
I also took Eyebiter.
Oh, that short sword.
I
the one that causes fear.
Was not the lizard item.
But we found it in the.
Yeah, but it's something that we do not have to give them, since we just give some money instead.
Well, no,
I
they
like
had
you
no
playing
idea
axe.
that was there.
Yeah, since the Eyebiter was clearly
Completely hidden.
when not even Duergar had found it. It seemed.
Also, it was like yeah, it's clearly dwarven, and it was not found in an area where they were participating. They were actively helping you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
There
the
was
first three
definitely-
levels are essentially what you're talking about right now, as to things that...
The bone shard wand, that's one thing that they had. One of the acolyte priests were using it, weren't they? Or Lizard King himself.
Axis does not even want compensation for that. She does not find that object tasteful. It's not quite as the...
The two-handed sword, definitely, we're going to have to compensate.
Yeah.
That, we know. I don't know what happened to the armor. We must have given it to them.
Well,
Yeah,
so...
If that's the case, didn't we already compensate them?
Since I think we
I think
already
we
gave
did.
some of the items to them when we...
Yeah, you've already given some of the items to them.
Yeah, so the armor was
Just
given.
not the monetary gold.
Yeah.
Oh, so maybe they were
So
okay
it's a
with
case
Braxon
of...
having the trident.
Well, that means that we already compensate for the two-handed sword, surely.
No. I mean...
No?
You gave them some of the items already when you did some earlier identification, but it wasn't a part of a codified process like we're looking at right now. It was literally a case of, we can't use this anyway, so here, you just take it. Whatever.
And it
I'm pretty
belongs
sure.
to you.
Unless you still have it listed somewhere in your document.
Oh, we've got Lizard Man top levels and Lizard Man bottom levels with a load of bullet points.
Well, those are the items that we need to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're all mainly dwarven stuff. They only wanted their stuff, and
Yeah.
Yeah, the axe is crossed out. And then there's a walking staff that's crossed out. I think we probably gave those to them.
No,
The walking stuff was from the secret room where we found the Eyebiter, and it was
So,
dwarven item.
Eyebiter is dwarven, so they didn't ask
this
that.
might sound silly.
We've got two paintings. There's two paintings.
Yeah,
What are
hang
the
on. What about the dual dagger that we clearly can't sell in the dwarven area?
It was from Duergar Temple, and basically it was a Duergar ritual decoration. Or
Yeah, but as far as they're concerned, it's just a dual dagger.
yeah, if it's something that you want to give to them that they can sell for
yeah,
cash...
we can
It's worth a
basically
lot.
we can
as far as they're
basically use
concerned.
that as one of the monetary compensation.
Has anyone done detect magic on the dwarven throne?
It's not magical.
Throne was not magical.
Right.
No, that
so
was just something of deep
It was just
dwarven.
we could give that to them to sell.
it was
Well,
just a
no, that's just literally
valuable
a stone.
that needed a refurnishing bit.
That's just like the standard affair in every deep dwarger. temple.
It's a throne.
Yeah, it's part of the temple. That particular temple. It's not a special throne. Every
Okay.
one of those temples are always going to have that throne.
Okay.
That's just part of that temple.
There's 2 paintings we found. What were they? Because we might not want them anyway.
Well,
In the top levels. Was that paintings with lizard men on?
no, they're dwarves. They're
Right.
just going to sell them straight up. They're just sold.
Okay.
Which is fine.
Well,
Again, like you can give them some of these items and say, here, you can use this as you wish. If you want to sell them, if you want to put them up, they're valuable.
Yeah.
But here you get these valuable items that can be sold. We take this wand. We take this sword. We take this whatever.
Can I? Should I start doing?
I mean, so one thing that you can do is if you're looking through the magic items that you picked up, and you're like, all right, we got these items we don't really care about. We got these other items that the lizardmen use that we do care about.
Yeah.
What if we give them some of these other items? They can either sell them or they can keep them and use them themselves in exchange for these items that we do like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's do that.
I mean, part of the problem is that you waited so long to do any of this that now it's time that you have to do it. And now there's so much stuff that you're a little overwhelmed. A lot of this should have been done earlier, but no one really wanted to do it.
Definitely. Well, I think we were sort of pushing on with the adventure for some reason.
Because that was more interesting than this administrative stuff.
Yeah.
But the administrative stuff still needs to be done.
Yeah.
I mean, you also, if you want, you could take a few days here and spend some time identifying and deciding who gets what, where it goes, and then
That would be a
leave.
good idea.
That might be a good idea. Then at least you have an idea of what everything is and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, well, Braxon says to the others, if what we offer them isn't good enough for them, then I'll offer them back Glittertines.
Well, we just offer them more money, basically. We don't
Yeah.
offer them Glittertines. We offer them more money.
If they say they're not happy, I will offer to give them back Glittertines. So we'll
Why?
see.
Because you can use that.
I'm not saying I want to give away Glittertines. I'm saying if there are not items here that satisfy them, and we can't give enough money to them to make them happy, and they say they're not happy, I will give them back Glittertines because it's the only thing I can think of. We use some of this stuff to help out Higamus. Yeah. So go for it and see if you can find other stuff to give them.
About
We've
those
got, like the jeweled short sword, the jeweled dagger. They're going to be worth a fortune.
about those sculptures that we have there, those marble sculptures and such. If I remember correctly, the lizardmen basically didn't care about those.
But if you tell them how much they can be sold for, then maybe they would care, and then they'd say, "Oh, well, yeah, we'll take this and go sell it."
So I have to do appraisal on a lot of stuff.
I'm again, because there's so much at this point. I'm like, when you get to a point where you're saying, "All right, we're selling all the gems and jewelry," I'm just going to total all that up, and because it's so much at this point that hasn't been handled.
Solas was more interested in keeping those statues and figurines and selling them in our base.
Not the rabbit though. That's magic.
Well, of course not the magic. I mean the dwarven figurines.
Yeah.
Like dwarven statue. Or bust. Like Solas wanted to keep. Solas asked them from the lizardmen to, since we basically found them in their barracks, they used them as a makeshift bed and such.
Well, The other thing I would say before we go through all this stuff and decide what we were keeping or selling, we've got Finn with us, who's quite low level, and there's some rings there that might help protect him. And there's a star, so I think we should see what's useful for Finn as well, because he's a druid, so he might have restrictions on what he can use.
Yeah, but those rings and stuffs we found that are magical were basically
They were all downstairs.
Yeah, downstairs, and none of them is clearly Lizardman make.
Yeah.
But again, you can say, here, we found these rings downstairs, we don't want them, take those, we'll take this trident. That's... Yeah. But you also need to identify them before you really do that. Well, you don't need to, but you might want to.
Yeah. It might be nice in case they're cursed. If Axis put on a ring and then she sort of vanished or turned into...
You don't know they're cursed until you start using them in combat. You can misidentify them.
So
I know.
What do you guys want to do? Like, let's actually do something rather than talk about doing something.
I think we...
Should we take a few days and identify them then?
Well, in the case of appraisaling stuff, I guess.
I'm hearing a question and I'm not hearing answers.
I think we basically all those jewelry and ingots that we can use and such, we basically sell all the jewelry and such, and with the money. And then if we want to keep some magic items, we basically give some money from those.
Right. So real fast. When it comes to the raw money that you found, when you total it all up, and before you divide out the portions to your crew and the party members, then you take a portion of that away for Axis.
Yeah.
And her people, and then you divide that up. When it comes to all of the gems and jewelry, when you tell me that you're selling it all, then I will total all of that up. I will take away whatever portion you agreed to give to Axis, and I'll say, you left this stuff with her beforehand, and you didn't take it with you.
Yeah.
You said, this is 30% of the value of these gems and jewels. This is 50% of this other group. You're keeping that. We've done the appraisals, and then we're taking the rest and selling it. And they're selling it. So, just to hand wave that. But when it comes to the items themselves, those need to be hand distributed, either to party members or to Axis and her people. Which is why you might want to identify them first. And I understand you guys don't really want to do that right now. I'm getting that feeling.
Should we take a few days and identify them so that we know what we've got to offer her?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get both the plate armors, the plate and bandit identified.
Well, the plate armor's for dwarves, so they're not going to be able to use them.
But they could sell them.
They could sell them. Yeah,
it's just
one was a Durgar one, so we might end up having to destroy that if it's evil.
No.
If it's not sentient or
no, it's just
enchanted in a way that it's only usable by evil. It's not.
Whoever wears it's going to be wearing the symbol of Clangagan or whatever
they can
logo for.
If it's not
what its name is.
If it's not if the enchantment isn't in that, I think they can basically
put some padding over it.
Well, let's ask Ockar. He's an armor expert.
What?
Ockar, do you think you could get that holy symbol off the Durgar armor
without ruining the enchantment?
Without destroying the armor?
Let me take a look at it.
Wasn't that be like a combined thing with spellcraft? Because wouldn't I know that might be intrinsically...
Shall I roll armor?
Yeah, go ahead and roll armor.
And the good news is there's a forge.
Ockar's really not sure. He has not handled magical armor in that way before, and he doesn't know the enchantments well enough to know whether removing that would...
Right.
There's a chance
what we could do is try to identify it, and if it's If it's some sort of power that's obviously bad, we won't want to do anything with it. And if it looks like the armor might be useful, we could take a chance and have Ockar try to get rid of the symbol.
Well, it's up to them if they want to get rid of the symbol. It's up to them.
Yeah, since we can give it to the lizard.
We've given them magical armor. They're selling it. They find out they can't sell it because of the symbol. Then they get rid of the symbol. Then they retry to sell that. It's up to them.
Okay, but then we have to be.
We're not.
Okay, but
saying
we have
the
to be.
item's worth less.
Okay, but we have to be upfront about what the symbol is in case they don't know.
Also, I mean, it's not completely out of realms of possibility that they might be able to sell it to some duergar.
Right. So,
Since while duergars are evil race, not all duergar are always hostile.
No, but
is there anything else we can do with normal pearls?
What do you mean? Is there anything else you can do with normal pearls?
Is there anything else we can identify?
I have a massive list of things that have never been identified.
Right. No, it's just that we're going around in circles and we can just identify some of these things.
I understand. I've been trying to push you into doing things.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to get. That's what I'm trying to get us to do. Right. So if Leva doesn't do the big 250 spell, can she identify more than one thing in a day?
Yeah.
It depends on the item, the individual items. So.
Yeah.
So she can basically do one of each of those in a day.
Yeah.
Either start with identify and then after 8 hours do the improved identify.
Yeah.
Identification, or do the improved identification and then the regular one after 2 hours.
Yeah. Let's get Leva to do some of these.
Okay. Let's start with a regular identification because you might be able to get a few things knocked out pretty quick that way.
Yeah, that sounds good. Hang on, let me find my pearls. Decrease the number of pearls. Oh, come on, roll 20. Roll 20's on the go slow.
You can make a separate note for now. You can always pay, again, this is also the sort of thing where I don't mind you saying.
No, I bought 10 pearls.
Well, I understand, but this is also the kind of thing where I don't mind you saying, I don't actually have enough right now. Can we retcon that I bought a few more last time?
Right.
So, especially when you'd know that you'd have a lot of identification to do. So, I'd rather focus on the items right now and then handle the pearls later.
Yeah.
So what do you want to identify?
What I know off the top of my head, the banded armor and the plate armor.
Yeah. That'll do.
Okay.
I can find where the hell that is. I don't know why there's duplicates on here. The problem is this needs to be organized because we don't do where half the stuff is. Well, we do, but it's doubling up in places. Yeah, we need to sort this thing. It needs to be done now, and it needs to be done after the game.
Right. Well, that's maybe this will be a lesson learned.
Ooh,
perhaps.
All right. So the banded armor.
Yeah.
That is
protection necromancy.
Leva indicates that the identify spell, Leva says that the identify spell indicates that just has a magical protection enchanted on it.
Just that.
Just that.
Would Ockar be able to adjust armor so that lizard people can wear it? Or would it have to be they sell it?
No, it has to be very similar, like Minotaur or something.
No, not even that. Not even that. It generally has to be made for the creature type. Half-elves can usually wear something designed for humans or elves.
Except
But
elven shade.
that's a rare case. Like, humans can't wear something designed for elves. Lizardman can't wear something designed for humans. I was generous with Higamus and the Verbeeg armor because they are kind of similar in size and shape.
Actually, out of curiosity, could Braxon wear my elven chainmail? Is it sized to elves?
No.
Yeah.
Because he's a human.
No,
Body type.
I can't remember if it
Solas
was...
could wear it.
He can't use his mage spells while wearing it, though, because he's not an elf.
And he's not a fighter mage.
Yeah. He could be a fire mage cleric.
But he doesn't have the fighter class.
No, out of curiosity, actually, can elves even be fire cleric mage?
No, I don't think so. I think only half-elves can.
Yeah.
Okay, so the... that's the banded armor.
Plate
and then
armor.
the plate armor.
Yeah.
She, again, indicates that just has magical protection enchantment. She will say that the banded armor appears to have a more powerful enchantment, but she can't say exactly what that is.
Yeah, what had a necromantic thing, so it's different, whatever it is.
No, I mean that the protection that it grants, the banded armor grants, is better than the protection that the plate armor grants.
Right.
Okay.
I just did the notes now. Gauntlets, Clangagan.
Oops, that's the wrong die. A D10 and a D20 do not make a D100.
Make it D200?
Maybe something like that. Okay. She identifies that as gauntlets that improve the wielder's skill with battle axes.
Oh, there's a certain person, 2 people actually that use battle axes. Alright, improves the use or the users of it. Users skill with battle axes. Oh, now everything's going to be out of alignment. Alright, Oh, is that Warhammer magical? Dwarven Warhammer.
Do you have more description?
Yeah, mithril, inlaid diamonds.
Yeah.
That was magical.
Yep.
Oh, we never detected that.
Do you want to say that you have detect magic's going too?
Yeah.
All right.
I have detect
One of
magic.
us will have it.
I will have
3
both
full
of them.
captures. Yeah, I've got 3 first level spells.
All right. Enchantment, charm, and combat.
Identify, please.
Okay. All right. That has a combat bonus, as well as some other powers.
Can the identify spell dig into the other
Yeah,
powers?
yeah, I'm doing that right
Yeah,
now. I
that's
just
what
have
I
to roll for it.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I was just asking, not telling.
It has the power to guide its wielder into caves and below the earth.
Guide.
Yep.
Guide wielder into caves. What? Guide wielder into caves.
And underground.
And it's probably got like no direction or something. Actually, that's. Well, we'll have to test that out after the identification.
Yeah, you would have to test it.
Well, we've got a nice underground complex to see if it guide us.
I don't know if that skull thing was identified. It's just great knowledge can be transferred.
We identify to
We did.
that it holds knowledge, and the knowledge can be transferred.
That was the identification. Right?
I'm getting an echo on someone. Like,
Yeah.
when I speak, and
I'm getting a lot of stuttering at the moment.
yeah, it's coming for you.
It's coming from me.
Yeah.
Let me
echoing
come out
is.
of Discord and come back.
All right.
I'm looking at loads of potions. I don't want to do the potions.
Gold ring set with
was that
dot
magical? I
small
don't
deep
think that was.
spindles was detected as magic. But
That might have been misaligned.
oh,
Yeah, because if you go down, which
okay,
A gold ring set with a dozen small, deep blue spindles is not magical.
okay,
Yeah.
so misaligned.
Yeah, I confirmed that a moment ago.
You sound a lot better, you lot. You get any more echo from me?
We'll have to wait and
No.
see.
Gold ring with thin strand of copper, silver, and electrum wrapped around it has been detected as an alteration enchantment charm. So
Well, it can't be alteration, enchantment, charm. Yeah, you're. Oh wait, no, sorry, I was looking at the wrong item. You're right. Enchantment, alteration, enchantment, charm.
God, that's the problem when this starts getting edited. Which items are magical? the alignment's just awful.
That's
needs to be
something to keep in mind.
Yeah, because we're doing it in a single box. It needs to be like done in Google Sheets instead.
Okay. Leva indicates that the identify, or Leva says that the identify indicates that it has multiple powers. Let's see. First thing, it grants protection to the wearer.
It's always good.
Next
protection.
thing, it allows the wearer to access the ethereal plane.
It has charges, whatever it is. Might be like a ring of spell storing, like your one, a different kind of spells.
It can make the wearer stronger.
Oh, this is a Solas ring. It makes a wearer strong. He wants that.
I mean, it does sound quite interesting ring.
What rings you got? Just out of curiosity.
I have
You've
a
got the
normal.
ring of spells.
I have normal ring of protection, ring of
yeah,
spells.
And it has the ability to influence monsters.
Charm monster.
Influence monsters.
Was that all
This
the
is a
powers we
spell
could detect
storing
on
ring.
it, or
It has very few charges remaining.
I wonder if it could be. Does an item indicate if it can be charged?
No. You'd have to research to find out if it can be recharged.
How did we find out if Solas's ring could be charged?
What, the ring of spell story?
Yeah. Was this
That's not
identifying
charges.
differently?
it's not charged. It's
This
you
is
store the
charges.
spells. You cast spell each time you want it to
If
have.
someone were to identify that ring and it's got charges on it because you have charged it, would it identify it as having charges?
The ring of spell storing? No,
Yeah. Oh.
because it doesn't have charges. It stores spells. It's a receptacle.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is like a wand, effectively, but a ring.
There are other rings that have charges.
Are there any more powers, or was that all the powers we
That was it.
detected?
That was it. It has no more powers.
That's a shame that's charges. Must be a nice ring otherwise.
Be interested in having the better identify casted on at some point.
What would a better identify do with that?
It would indicate exactly what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would tell you that this power that I gave you makes the wearer stronger does this specific effect. gives you hill giant strength, or gives you strength of stone spell, or whatever it is that it does. Okay.
Smooth oaken staff with mithril caps and banding. Did we identify that yet?
That has
or
been identified, yeah.
Improve combat ability, yeah.
Steel signet ring with symbol of clamshells in a round disc. That we found out has protection, but was it from identify or detect magic?
That was from detect magic. Protection is a sphere. Go ahead and use identify on that.
Mm-hmm.
That ring improves the wearer's spells of protection.
No.
Spells of protection. And this, what sphere was this? Oh.
Its sphere is protection.
Yeah,
Since you have new detect magics up, that also radiates as alteration this time.
Thing is, you're the only multi-class priest mage that could tell which class it is. Do you have any protection spells?
No, I have few protection spells like armor and blur and.
There's no way of knowing. It might just last longer. Oh.
Well.
Yeah. We can't really test it now.
And that is that identify spell running out.
Yeah.
So the superior identifier. What do you want to identify?
Personally, I would be interested in knowing about that gold ring with thin strand of copper, silver, and electrum.
But it seems like an item that we're going to keep, so that's just...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
I mean, if...
That is going to be a...
When I was paying for this, I was paying for this myself out of my own money. This is coming out of the company funds, I assume, then.
I mean, if Solas is interested in this ring, then maybe he's supplying the pearl for this ring.
Yeah.
Okay, so the superior identifier reveals that it is currently operating as a ring of protection +3.
Ooh.
Wow.
However, that will be reduced if the lesser powers are used up.
Okay.
Don't use them up, and you've got a ring of protection +3.
And it has command words. You will need to figure out what those are.
Oh.
Okay.
And it's actually going to take 2 castings of the spell to get everything. Are you willing to do that?
It's be another day that passes as well.
Yeah, that's fine. You got a few days. I'm also, to a certain extent, I'm also willing to say that some of this happens later. Like, if you do a detect magic and an identify, and you're like, yeah, we're definitely keeping this, almost guaranteed.
Do you need another pearl?
Yeah, I can supply the another pearl.
You can just deduct the money, too.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Alright. Okay. That is enough to get all of the powers. And I don't have a handout for this yet, but I'll get one made for next week.
Okay.
Now, you do need command words for these, and you don't know those, so you will need to do some research for them if you choose to use any of these lesser powers. But if the first command word is spoken, you become ethereal, as the armor of etherealness. There are 3 charges remaining of that. The second command word gives the wearer strength as a strength spell. And as if cast by a 12th level wizard. And there are 6 charges of that remaining. And the final command word allows you to cast Charm Monster, as if by a 12th level wizard. And there is 1 charge of that remaining. And anytime all the charges are used up for one of the powers, the Ring of Protection effect degenerates.
There was 1 charge for the Charm Monster.
Correct. So if you were to use that, it would degenerate to a Ring of Protection plus 2.
Okay.
And I'll give you a handout by next week.
Quite the item.
I mean, as long as you're not using any charges, it's a Ring of Protection plus 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that alone is worth not using.
Yeah, and
Ethereal might save your life a couple of times. You can use that
yeah, and who knows, those charges might be rechargeable, but of course that would cost money.
You would need to research whether it's rechargeable.
Yeah.
It turns into a +4. Put another spell on it somehow.
Okay.
I think that's quite useful ring.
Yeah, that's probably going to be kept for Solas or something.
Well, whoever wants it from the spellcasters, basically.
Yeah.
It's useful for any spellcaster. Or
Sounds
at least
good.
for me and Leva.
Well, has that given us any
Probably.
clear ideas on what we definitely don't want? That we can
Not
offer?
that. That's not being given to them.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's really
It's way
expensive.
too good.
No, obviously not that. I mean, we can't use the dwarven armor.
Yeah,
so we can offer
both
that
the dwarven armors are definitely going to be offered up.
Yeah. I would also be interested in knowing that spells Steel Signet Ring that has the spells of protection improved, but that's not something that needs to be done quite now.
Yeah.
I mean, to a certain
That
extent,
improves.
sometimes using the item will also reveal exactly what it
Yeah.
does, so you
Yeah,
may not need to
that's
do the
something
improved
that we can
identifier on
test.
it.
That's something actually I can test myself quite easily since I have
It
both
doesn't have
cleric and
charges. You
mage
just
protection spells.
Well, you'd have to get into, you'd have to get into a combat situation, an actual combat situation. With the,
Yeah, I know.
okay, just so you know.
throw him over ship. He's in a combat situation.
Alright, anything else that you want to identify?
There were the protective bracers that we got from the Illithid.
You partially identified them.
Yeah.
Did you want to cast another regular identify, or did you want to cast the better identify?
I'm just trying to... Oh, here. I can cast a normal identify on it.
Okay. Okay, so you learn that it has a defensive bonus, which you already knew. And your second effect, that you learn that it offers complete protection against small flying shards.
Oh, so it would work in bullets maybe, or maybe explosions.
Shards. Ice Storm. So Storm is only a certain effect. Well, I don't know.
Any shards?
Does it
The
have
bone
more?
wand, obviously.
That's all.
That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Small flying shards.
Yeah, basically anything small enough. Small enough that you might
Would
use
the
it.
identify be vague enough to not indicate whether or not that would be an arrow? Or would it, if it was specifically an arrow, it would say an arrow? Or would it still
An
be vague
arrow,
enough to
as
say?
in, are you
Arrows.
saying
I mean,
arrow
it's a
or
small
arrow?
shard. arrow?
You would have to test that to find out if it protects against arrows.
It's a small shard. It could be just anything pointed.
Okay, so we had this discussion last week, and I think we have to agree that we shoot Lafdul.
Just because I
Yes,
regenerate.
we shoot Lafdul in the kidney.
Wait, don't just jump in at the shoot after part, Ockar.
Those bracers we should keep, since either me or Leva or Finnel can use them quite effectively. Since none
use
of
some
us
of armor, though.
I mean, almost anyone can use them effectively, depending on.
Hey, I heard
Yeah.
shoot Lafdul. I
Yeah,
knew where I
but,
knew where I had to step in.
most of us won't get the defensive bonus as
Yeah.
well, since
mean-
most of us wear armor that is usually better than the armor bonus that is from the bracers.
Even though I'm not going to take such now, because I would always give them to the cast Leva or Solas first. I could, for example, not wear my chainmail, and then we get my thieves skills improved if I have
Yeah.
something of the equivalent protection.
Mhm.
Well, you know what? If they were given to someone that can't wear armor, and you was to go
Oh,
off
yeah.
sneaking somewhere and you couldn't wear your armor, they could always lend it to you, unless
Yeah,
it sort
that's
of,
always a thing.
unless it sort of personalizes itself to them.
No, it doesn't personalize. If we're lending it, we're intended to give it back. That's why I lent my buckler to you.
Yeah. Which, thank you for that one.
Does Finnel wear any armor?
Don't you have a magical shield? Finno wears leather.
Yeah, so for
He's
example,
got bog standard leather at the moment.
yeah, for example, those bracers might be way better for Finnel than the leather armor.
Yeah, not having Finn die would be helpful, because it costs money to bring to people.
So those
fun,
we should
bro.
keep definitely. And I think Ockar might be possibly interested in the Otter bracers that improve the usage of battle axes.
Gauntlets. Did Ockar pick up the ones that improve lances?
I did not pick up either.
Yeah.
Well, Braxon already got Glittertine, so
I mean,
What about that staff?
No, I'm not. I'm not by limit because remember the two rings I had were destroyed, and I gave the one ring
That's fine. That's fine.
that I borrowed from Higamus back to him.
You know, Lafdul can use axes.
I mean, I'll take the bracers to improve my skill of axes.
Gauntlets.
Gauntlets.
So they do have the Clangedding symbol in them.
Yeah, I think Braxon was the only one that was going to contest it, but I think Braxon said that he's inclined to keep Glittertines instead.
Yeah.
So he gets the gauntlets. We could just sort that out right here and now. Unless you're objecting, Braxon, because you're literally the only one.
No.
Alright, so if he takes the gauntlets.
Yeah, the only thing that's going to make Braxon not be happy with Glittertines is if the lizard people say they're not happy. We haven't got anything to trade them that they're happy with.
Someone give a description to the gauntlets to Ockar. And the Ockar goes in the document and takes it out himself.
All right. Anything else that you want to identify?
Actually, can he even wear the gauntlets? Because they're dwarven.
I mean,
Can
we
we-
can check to see if we can fit them on human hands.
Can we file down the end of Ockar's fingers?
No,
They're too big.
I'm not Warforged. You can't do that.
You see a stick show.
Can I fit the gauntlets on my hands?
Yes, they turn out that they resize to fit your hands.
Okay, that's good. I want the axe gauntlets.
Alright, I'm gonna cut them out and paste them to you. So we can just get that off the list. It's not off the list.
Okay.
Alright, where are you on the list? Message. There you go.
Cool.
Do we still have any identification charges left on the spell?
Yes.
If I remember, is there any more powers in that Ockar's axe to be identified?
You'd have to go through all of the ones that you already know with this new identify spell.
Okay, so
Ockar got improved identifying the axe.
yeah, but there were still some powers left in there.
Was there?
Yes, but you'd have to go through all the powers that you had.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. Yep.
Let's go in order.
Yep.
Oof, that's rough. It's got a lot of.
Yeah. Well, such is life.
That's the case of just paying pot luck until you get lucky and get all of them.
See.
I wonder if that Warhammer is like I find caves. Shoot.
Just trying to see if there is anything that
we
we
got
have.
loads of potions, but we don't want to do the potions.
Yeah.
There are definitely other things.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find them on the list.
Yeah.
We could try to identify the books.
Actually, this is your identification, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So do the sundial. Never fail to identify that.
Well, I can try the sundial. If I can find out anything about it.
That keeps perfect time even when there is no sun to
Oh, that's convenient. We're keeping that.
Oh wow!
mark the
We don't have
time.
a water clock.
So hang on, the sundial keeps perfect time.
Yeah, it's essentially a watch, but
Yeah.
really inconvenient.
Yeah, I get
Not
that.
a watch, but basically clock that can be kept even if there is no sun.
No, I get this.
That'll probably
Yeah,
help.
what? Go ahead. Go ahead. What are you saying?
Okay. Braxon wants to check the sundial and see if he lines it up with the sun in brow space, is it actually following our sun, or does it have a sort of built-in sun effect?
So, even when there is like the shadow that the fin of the sundial casts, is always there. Like you could hold a light right next to it and say, and the shadow will come towards you.
Oh yeah.
To indicate what time it is.
What Braxton's trying to figure out is
really freaky.
Is it sort of replicating what Brow's sun is doing? Even if there's a wall in the way.
The problem is that like when you're out in space, you can position yourself in any way to have a normal sundial indicate a time.
Yeah, each planetoid has basically its own day-night cycle.
Well, but it's not just that. But when you're on a ship in space, you can just shift the ship, and it will indicate 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. or 8 p.m. or 10 p.m. or 3 a.m. or 7 a.m. just by shifting the ship.
But this basically gives the.
It always gives whether it's your time doesn't actually matter. The fact that it keeps fixed time no matter what is more important.
But Braxton's just trying to figure out how it works if he moves it and stuff. So if he moves it 180 degrees, the shadow doesn't
fixed.
follow the sun.
Correct.
The shadow is built into it.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. That's all Braxton was trying to work out.
Right, which is why I said that if you hold a light to it, the shadow may come towards you rather than away from you.
No, I was just trying to work out if it was magically in sync with our sun, or if it was it's sort of got its own sun built in.
Right, but you can't know if it's in sync with your sun because you can just move the ship to get a different time on a non-magical sundial.
Got ya.
Yeah.
All right.
Levas did fail to identify that Tongwang.
Yeah, so you want to try?
I could try.
Okay. Give me a second to get to that.
Nobody's going to want to buy this.
Oh, back, sir. I had to do some.
All right. That allows the wielder to reshape living or dead flesh.
What?
The tongue wound.
Mm-hmm.
Living or dead flesh?
Reshape living or dead flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wait, that might be useful if someone loses an arm. You just retouch it with that.
Reshape doesn't sound the same as reform.
You lose a limb. It got mashed up. You reshape it back into that limb-like shape. Then healing spells might work. I think that would come under the clever use of the item if it works like that.
I think this might be something that is.
It's good and evil.
If you were to want to create bone or flesh golem, this would be quite a useful tool in that.
Yeah.
Since basically, you could use this to reshape the body of the intended golem.
Hey, we'll make a necromancer of you yet, Solas.
Yeah.
It also has a medium number of charges remaining, and that's all you learn about it. There's no other powers.
Okay.
Mind you that the actual power there may be incredibly detailed, and I'm just giving you a general description, so...
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah, we might also be able to use this thing if someone got killed, we could make them look like someone else.
I wonder if
we also need to figure out its command word.
I wonder, actually, that might be like... That also might have the spells like regenerate or wither.
Possibly. Since those reshape the flesh.
And destroy the flesh.
Well, destroying it is also shaping it.
That would be incredibly powerful.
So while the wand is quite disgusting, it might be quite powerful. So there might be people who might be able to or willing to overlook its disgustingness.
Would you? Just out of curiosity.
Solas would not, but unless it had the power to basically bring back
lost books.
No lost books. But basically, if it had the power and that the situation required it to be used to, for instance, save one of the party members.
What
from death?
Restoration.
Or something like that.
Although resurrection technically can make a body, I think.
So, since you have cast the Identify on that, it means that you have examined it closely, and you realize that this stiff shaft of a foot and a quarter long,
tongues,
like I said, is made entirely of tongues that are stitched together. They're still wet, they're not rotting or anything like that, and they're still dripping saliva.
Are they generating saliva?
They seem to be.
Yeah, that is in the description already.
I wonder if that saliva could be used to make potions.
Making sure that you're aware of it.
Ooh.
Hence why I said that it's quite disgusting, and you would need to overlook its disgustingness.
But like, hold on, real fast. So rather, like, just so you understand, this is not like you have another wand that's made of a petrified flowers. These are not petrified. It's stiff, and you cannot bend it. But when you touch it, it's still soft and fleshy. It feels the exact same as if you touch your own tongue. It doesn't feel any different on the surface.
Squishy, slimy, sticky, slicky. It's going to make you
close
like
down. They're fresh tongues, I feel like. Like, the magic of this is keeping them fresh. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I figured when it was described, that is... it still drips saliva.
Yeah.
Lafdul can just keep it in a dedicated pouch.
Also, you're pretty sure that it's...
Actually, it's a wand. It's too big.
You're also pretty sure that you notice different creature tongues on there, not just like human tongues. So
Humans.
not just human tongues. Like
Human
lizard men
lord.
have pointed tongues.
They got forked tongues on there.
No, not forked. Pointed.
Yeah.
No snake people tongues.
No Yonti.
All right. Anything else that you want to identify?
Didn't we pick up a load of scrolls? Didn't you pick up a load of scrolls, Solas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're located on this set. I know we picked up like 3 scrolls.
Well, the good news is that it's close to the end of the session. This might be a project for next week, going through that and making sure that stuff is sorted and not duplicated.
Any scroll that has been... we have found some scrolls that we have identified or know that what kind of scrolls they are, but there were some scrolls that we didn't know what they were yet. Remember correctly?
I can't even remember.
We could go through the dock after the game and see what needs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need to do that. But is there like you still have some left on this identify?
Well, since I can't really think anything else, I will identify those magic books.
Oh, wooden scroll case.
Was it
12
Was it-
scrolls? What?
where is?
I'm looking at the illithid, the separate section for the illithid up the top. Just keep scrolling up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, wooden scroll case containing series of sheets of parchment scrolls inside. 12 scrolls.
Oh, Braxon should get his. Did Braxon actually? The belt must have been identified. Because we know it
Oh,
improves his
I don't
constitution.
know.
It was never improved identified,
Oh.
though. We just knew it improves constitution, nothing else.
Right, so there might be some powers that Braxon can use.
I don't know. You should probably get it improved to identify at some point.
Did we identify that broad
Actually,
girdle of leather?
Hold on. Yes, Solas?
Did we identify that broad girdle of leather with hooks for scabbard pouches,
yeah,
etc.?
that's what I'm referring to.
That's the same thing.
Braxon,
Yeah.
go somewhere dark, take your ironstone off, see if you can see in the dark with just a girdle.
Okay.
Because it's a thing.
If-
we know it's a dwarven girdle.
If
We've heard
if
of
only
girdles of dwarven kind.
if only we
Dwarves see in the
had
dark.
if only we had a giant tunnel complex with hundreds
Just
of
get out my
tunnels.
dagger dark. You can see if I've got a dagger with continual darkness on.
I was just
That will
kidding.
effectively blind you if you can't see
Yeah,
in the dark.
okay. Braxton will reach out his hand and grab the ironstone as it comes past.
And I will pull out my dagger of darkness. Can he see in the dark now? Does the belt grant him that?
Yes, you have infravision.
With the belt. So the
Wow.
ironstone could go to Ockar or someone else.
Yeah,
That means
What
every
don't do?
does
the
infravision.
ironstone helps you see in the dark.
It also extends people who have infravision. So it might double up. With your belt.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, Ockar does have a flaming axe, and Finn is a
mean-
human.
Yeah, I mean, if
so
anyone
Finnel'ar.
should take that ironstone, I think it would be most useful for Finn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Finnel'ar, Ockar.
I mean,
Well,
Ockar does have a
it-
light source with
Oh,
the
Okkar's got a limit as well.
Yeah,
If,
that also.
if Ocker's on his limit, he'll have to give something else up to take it.
And Ockar were already intent on those gauntlets.
Yeah, I'll just take the gauntlets.
It's
Dwarves are renowned. What else are dwarves renowned for? I ask Braxon.
what
They
dwarves
can
renowned
see
for.
in the dark. They're hardy creatures. What else? What else are they known for?
They're good at drinking beer.
You should have to put that to the test at some point. All right, now carry on.
You don't actually know that they're good at drinking beer.
Braxton doesn't know that. He can speak Dwarven.
Oh, I
Does he
have
not-
to.
does he not-
Just because you can speak Dwarven doesn't mean that you
You can see if you
know that they are good at drinking beer.
Well, they've told him they're good at drinking beer.
They could have lied to you.
Yeah. Braxton's heard the phrase, "I could drink you under a table, laddie," a few times.
Well, they obviously, if you
They're
can
good at
speak the
mining.
language,
They're good at mining.
Yeah, well, you need
They're
to try
good
the various
at,
things dwarves are known for, because obviously you got infiltration out.
They're good at defending against certain monsters.
You might be good at fighting against goblins or something, or I don't know.
Yeah,
you
maybe.
might. Dwarves have, well, features about them that might suddenly start appearing on you.
So you said we could retcon that we bought a big pearl, did you say?
Yeah, but we've got one
Same
charge
day
left
we
on
count.
Solas's first.
Yeah. Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah, I'm fine letting you know that there's just one left.
Yeah.
Yours doesn't vary like Leva's does.
Yeah, 6 or whatever.
So
since I have no level variation.
Choose something that you think is probably only going to have one enchantment on it.
Just a potion, I guess.
Yeah, let's choose the murky dark purple liquid in a glass flask that has been detected as enchantment charm and thought.
Okay. That improves the spellcasting ability of a wizard.
Oh.
Whether or not it's permanent or not.
Assume that a potion is temporary.
Yeah, potions got to be temporary.
Potions may be permanent, but assume they're temporary, because 99.9% of them are temporary.
Right.
I need to go AFK because
that's a potion that me and Leva are going to be interested in.
Well, we're about to wrap up anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Can you PM me the XP because I'll be like 10 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you for the game anyway. Be right back.
All right. So real fast, Finn, are you open to that Ion Stone? It sounds like.
Sure.
All right. Anyone object?
I can see in the dark without it.
Sounds like you're not objecting then. Yeah, Braxton will hand it over.
Okay. So, Finn, if you just put that up near your head and let go, it'll just start orbiting your head, and while you're wearing it, it grants you 60-foot infravision.
Okay.
So basically you can see in the dark as well as an elf.
And I'll have to remember to make sure that I'm updating your token with that.
Did Braxton get more or less infravision from just spell?
You didn't have enough distance to see.
Right, okay. Well, if it's down a bit, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's just 30 feet, it's still better than nothing.
Yep.
So, Finn, you use staves too, right?
Yes.
Okay. The party now has 2 staves. Do you want to, this new one and an old one, you guys want to talk about distributing these?
Yeah.
Or you want to hold off?
The old one is at the moment in my usage.
Right. But you could swap for the new one, or you could try to claim both if you wanted, or you can say whether this would be good for Finn or something like that.
I think Finn can take the new one in if he wants, unless Leva is contesting it, since I'm quite content using the one with the curing power, since I have the wand for combat if I need better combat bonus. And I try to stay away from melee combat.
Alright.
This is the smooth open staff with Mithril?
Yes.
Yeah, I might be interested in that.
Yeah, it has invoke powers to improve combat ability, so that would mean that we need to find out its command word, right?
Maybe. This might be something where you want to use the improved identifier to find out for sure.
True. But there are a few things that I'm interested in. For example, those 2 rings and that potion.
I think we might need to do that at the beginning of the next adventure.
Well,
next session, yeah.
I think we can discuss this while we sort this out before the next adventure.
Some of it, yeah. Keep in mind that Leva may be interested in some of those things too.
I think we might, if people are up to it, we could try to have some common time to discuss about this.
Yeah, I mean, and if there's items where it doesn't look like there's going to be any real contesting, like, this item is obviously suited to this one person, no one else is going to object. That can also be distributed off screen, between sessions, and then when we come back, we just say, so and so got this, so and so got that, etc. And now we're moving on.
Yeah, that would speed up the start of the next session.
Yeah. But for now, we'll go ahead and call it a session. The XP is going to be, let's see, that is going to be 300 experience points for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it.
Let's see how close I'm going to be leveling. 272.
So I'll have to keep it low again to drag it out.
So I'm getting quite close to leveling up.
All right, well, I want to thank you guys for playing. Thanks everyone out there for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back next week for probably some more identification. That's kind of something that needs to be done at this point.
AD&D identification in space.
Yep.
I mean, didn't we all sign up for item management?
Of course. I mean, if you watch my Let's Plays, you should know that that's a major part of it.
That's what draws the audience.
Oh yeah. Hot, sexy inventory management. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye.
Bye now.
Thanks for the game. Thanks for watching.